Hey guys, welcome again to another Maximum PCs video review. I have a motherboard here I got in for an upcoming build today. It's the Asrock Z77 Pro 4M, which comes in a micro ATX form factor. So we're just going to have a quick look at it today and see what features it has, what it looks like and stuff, and that sort of thing. Taking a look at the box now, it comes with all the usual features that these Asrock motherboards include. Asrock is calling it the 555 X-Fast, and it goes into detail on the back here. So let's see. So apparently you can Photoshop 5 times faster because it makes better use of your system RAM. The X-Fast LAN prioritizes your bandwidth for lower latency gaming. And finally, it claims to offer faster USB speeds. Lucid Virtue MVP is particularly interesting. It basically uses your integrated CPU graphics core combined with your NVIDIA or AMD graphics card to deliver better frame rates and gaming performance. Intel Smart Connect technology for keeping your PC synced with your social media. Intel Rapid Start for quick recovery from sleep mode. Going along the bottom here, we have the Internet Flash for BIOS flashing outside of Windows. DigiPower VRM for controlling CPU voltage. 4 DDR3 slots supporting up to 2800 MHz. UEFI BIOS, which uses a new graphical interface, so it's easy to find and change things in there. And a whole lot of awards Asrock has won for their products. Anyway, now on to the important stuff. Let's see what we get in the box. A rear I/O shield. 2 black SATA 6 gigabit per second cables. A driver's disc. User's guide. A CPU installation guide. And some more information on Lucid Virtue MVP and the X-Fast 555 features I talked about earlier. Underneath here we get access to the board itself in its protective anti-static bag and foam. Here's a closer look at the board itself. So it appears a bit more squarish as it is a micro ATX board and is missing some slots down here. However, it's still perfectly capable of supporting ATI Crossfire X or SLI with 2 cards. Up here we have the PCIe 3.0 slot as supported by Ivy Bridge CPUs, as well as a one-time slot followed by 2 more PCIe 2.0 16-length slots. Do note that these do not run at full speed when you have more than one card occupying these slots. Up here is the standard 1155 socket compatible with Sandy Bridge and Ivy Bridge CPUs. The Z77 chipset of course allows overclocking of Intel's unlocked K-series processors. Moving on, like I said before, it has 4 DDR3 DIMMs here, rated at 2800 MHz, which is plenty, even by today's standards. So we have a 24 pin here. It's good to see that Asrock is using an internal USB 3 header here. Moving down, there are 4 SATA 3 ports here, 2 running off the Z77 chipset and 2 provided from an onboard ASMedia ASM1061 chipset. Asrock has put a little sticker here recommending that you use the Z77 ports as they will provide better performance. Furthermore, there are another 4 SATA 2 ports, 2 here and 2 here. It's great to see so much connectivity on a motherboard in this price range. Boards from Asus and Gigabyte will charge you a bit more for these extra SATA 3 ports. To the left a bit we have the standard pins for connecting to the switches and LEDs in your case, as well as the BIOS reset jumper. Along the bottom of the board we get the first of 5 fan headers. This one has 4-pin PWM and 1, 2, 3 USB 2 headers as well. In the bottom corner we get the optional serial and parallel headers. Moving up to the rear I/O, we have the front HD audio connector, another fan header here, and we get 3 clustered up here next to the 8-pin CPU connector. Asrock has chosen to use 100% solid capacitors, and this will help improve the lifespan of the board. Overall, quite like the black color scheme of this board. Asrock has not used overly massive heatsinks for the CPU VRM and chipset here, so there should be no problems installing larger third-party coolers or long graphics cards. Finally, let's take a look at the rear I/O now. On the left we have two USB 2 ports, a PS2 port, VGA, DVI, and HDMI for the integrated graphics, another two USB 2 ports with an eSATA underneath, Realtek Gigabit LAN, two USB 3 ports, and the onboard Realtek HD audio, which supports THX True Studio and optical out. So that's my overview on the Asrock Z77 Pro 4M. Overall, it's loaded with heaps of features and looks great as well. It is a smaller micro ATX board, but it's good to see that it can still support two cards in Crossfire or SLI, so you're not missing out on a whole lot compared to a full-size ATX board. The 4 SATA 3 ports is a plus for me as well, as the 4 memory DIMMs and support for overclocking. Stay tuned as I will be using this motherboard in a build lock coming up shortly. And remember to visit maximumpcs.com.au where this board is extensively used in our high-end gaming systems.